You're 12 and you're like, I'm definitely going to be a chartered accountant. That's the route I'm going to follow. And then you grow up, and then you find that, the route is taking a little bit longer than you wanted, and there are more exciting things to find.
Yeah.
And so one day, many years ago, I saw someone talking about black economic empowerment, and I was like, that's interesting. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean for us? And then I did a little bit of research, and I applied for a job. And Empowerdex hired me. It was like one of the weirdest things. They're like, oh, you're hired. And I was like, yeah. Well, well done to me.
Wow.
And then I worked for Empowerdex for a number of years, since 2006. And then, through the legislation, I've found that there's a lot that our people don't know. There's a lot that our people don't get exposed to when it comes to what true economic empowerment means. And there are many things that include, like now the buzzword is radical economic change. What does that mean? Nobody knows. We're still trying to figure out.
People throw that thing around like it is so easy to understand what radical economic. It's almost like the people are sipping coffee and they're like, yeah, also with the radical economic, what does it mean?
Yes, yes.
So teeny chap.
Like right now, what we're waiting for them to define it for us so that we can know what it means, because all it's doing really is just causing a lot of confusion and a little bit of anxiety in business as well, because you've got businesses that come from outside of the country that want to come and invest, and they're hearing this word radical being thrown around, and what we are hoping for is that it actually still means that we stay the course and we transform the country in a legitimate manner. We don't transform it in ways that are not legitimate at all. So then in 2015 is when I was then approached by Craig to partner with him on ClickaBet, because one of the requirements was that they needed this new license to have black representation, and that's when I partnered with Craig, and we're literally probably the only, I'm not aware of anybody else who's got direct black ownership, so I'm talking now the guys who are not listed. We're probably the only one who's got direct black women in particular ownership.
Sure. Speaking of being a woman now, as a woman, do you think you had to sacrifice more to be where you are now? Because I hear a lot of women saying that, as a black woman, to be more specific.
Yeah, look, I think you're judged firstly because you're female. Your sin is having ovaries. And you're judged even more.
I love that. That needs to go on a t-shirt. My sin is having ovaries.
Literally, and you're judged even more because you're a black female.
A black woman,
and I find that sometimes, until people get to hear you talk, until people get to see your work, they judge you simply because you are female. They judge you simply because you're black. So you do have to work harder. You do have to put in a lot more effort. You do have to watch yourself more. You've got to watch who you hang with. You've got to watch what you do and how people perceive you, because first impressions are always going to last. People are going to remember the last thing that you did. They're never going to remember the hundreds of wonderful things you've done.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to remember the one terrible thing that you did. So I think being female firstly makes it hard, but being black and female makes it doubly hard.
So I think it's like that with every industry, though. A lot of industries like that. You just have to work a bit harder to prove to everyone else that I'm actually good at this job.
I'm capable.
I'm capable.
Is your personal growth, would you say that after giving that very in-depth answer, that your personal growth has been challenged in the industry that you work in, and just being a black woman in business?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, but I think just being a black woman anywhere in the world makes it harder for us to succeed. You have to look. You're going to do the work.
What are the boundaries?
Be afraid.
Are there boundaries within personal growth? Aren't we in charge of our own personal growth? Because we can't really say work limits me. I have to work extra hard. Because personal growth is about you, the person.
It is. It's about you. It's about you having the ability to learn. Because I think one of the biggest travesties in South Africa is that we punt for education in an education system that's not teaching you for the future. It's teaching you for something that you're not going to use. So you need to have the ability to learn.
I think as an education
is outside of the academic constructs.
Oh yeah, life orientation. There's a subject that was introduced in our educational system, life orientation. I think it's the most undermined subject. We downplay that subject so much because that is what shapes personal growth.
I think it's called something else now. When we were in school, it was called...
No, it's LO now.
Is that what... Yeah. Oh, so it's still there,
11:37, we're still hanging with Nomzamo Xaba. We're going to play Be My Friend.